Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed, and my friends, welcome into the morning show. Today's topic is about you need to stop fearing failure. I suffered from this when I was younger, and to an extent, I still have little bouts with fear even now. However, I want to share something with you that I learned when I was in one of the darkest places in my life. Also, if my voice sounds a little different, it's because I'm kind of getting a little sick, so I apologize if you can hear it through the mic. But my friends, look, failure is something that all of us want to avoid. I think we can all agree on that. The problem is, in our journey to take a step forward, we fear taking a step backwards, and sometimes the fear of taking a step backwards can lead us to not take any step at all. We just stay stationary. And the more you stay stationary, the more likely you are to just stay paralyzed. And being paralyzed is a fate worse than death, in my opinion. Why would I say anything like that? Because for those of us who want to achieve success, those of us who demand it as our birthright and we work for it every day, fear is something that will force us into a corner. It is something that will force us inside ourselves. Fear, any of you have read Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil, he has an interview with the devil in his own mind. And the devil discusses this idea of fear being one of his best tools, because it leads to discouragement. And when you're discouraged, you don't feel motivated. You don't feel as if any action you take will hold any weight whatsoever. And you sabotage yourself. You don't need to fight someone who's self-sabotaging. And that's what fear does to you. And I've had to learn this the hard way. You know, I do 2 shows a day. I love doing this show. There are some shows that do really well, and there are other ones that, frankly, I put a lot of work into and people don't listen to it. That's okay. No one owes me their ears. No one owes me a listen. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop producing content. That doesn't mean I want to stop preaching my message that I preach on this show. Of becoming the best version of yourself and seeing through the illusions around us. I don't fear the failure of an episode not doing well. I used to when I first started. But once you start getting into a routine, you start realizing that it's not about little battles. It's about the war. The war is your journey to success, your battle against the man in the mirror who is trying to sabotage you every step of the way. Because make no mistake about it, your worst enemy is not outside, it's inside. A lot of people can't even get on their own team. And that's why they fear failure, because when you fear failure, you're telling yourself that you don't believe you could succeed. That you don't trust yourself to handle something. Because failure is not the end. Let's say, hypothetically, you completely flop and you fail. It is only truly, there's a difference between being a failure and failing. Failing is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to learn and improve. Failure is accepting and giving up. I think it was Babe Ruth who said that it's hard to beat someone who never gives up. And that is exactly what you must become. But you can't become that if you are fearing failure this morning. If you are fearing failure, it will paralyze you. Like Medusa, it will turn you to stone, and it will force you into becoming a person you don't want to become, and it will lead you into a downward spiral of self-loathing and self-sabotage. Because we make no mistake about it, and I've discussed this before on the show, you are what you think about. So if you think about how you're lacking, how you can't do something, how, someone else does it better and you can't possibly do it as well as them, well, guess what? That's exactly what you'll get. Lack, limitation, and disappointment. And that will lead you to discouragement. You see how one thing leads to another? Fear is usually the first step in that descent into a destination that you wanted to avoid. You have to learn to love risk. Now, I'm not saying that you just take random risks for no reason. No. That's reckless. The difference between being a risk taker and being reckless. Because make no mistake about it, sometimes things can take you longer to bounce back from. But one of my best friends the other day, it was yesterday, he called me up and he gave me some really good, sound advice that I needed to hear. Sometimes I don't work as hard as I should. It might not seem that way, but I get distracted and I go down rabbit holes and I don't always budget my time correctly. And right now, I'll be honest with y'all listening to the show today. I fear that my book will not be appreciated as much as I love it. Biblical Bachelor took a lot out of me to write, and it's something I've been planning to do for a while, and it's something that I've poured a lot of resources into and a lot of my soul into. And frankly, sometimes I fear that I won't be able to sell as many copies as I want to sell, or that people won't appreciate it in the way that I do. And it was that fear that led me to just not pursue the sales that I wanted to pursue, not take the risks that I would normally take. And I gotta give a shout out to my boy. He helped me out. He gave me a good dose of straightforward love. And he told me, hey man, no one's on your team. You gotta be on your own team. No one's there to help you. There's no one to save the day for you. You gotta go out there, you gotta advocate for yourself and be your own best ally. And I appreciated him saying that. Because as much as I would love to think that I'm above fearing failure, that I'm above letting myself go to, the dark places that I used to be, it's just not true. You never truly get out of those. It's a continual fight that you always have to be a part of. So my friends, if there's something you're fearing today when you're listening to this show, know that you are far from alone. And I guarantee you more people are suffering from fear, whether it's the fear of failing, the fear of disappointing people, whatever it is. You are not alone if you are in that mindset today. Just know, though, I'll give you a little bit of tough love that my friend gave me. You have to be on your own team because you're behind. And if you want to get ahead of the curve, you got to put in that work. You got to have a sense of urgency. Even though I'm sick and I'm not feeling that well, that doesn't mean I want to stop doing what I'm doing every day. That doesn't mean I want to just hang it up and take the day off. Can't do it, won't do it. A lot of people, when they fear failure, there's this saying that says that one often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. The more you fear failure, the more you'll descend into failing one thing after another. Just so you know. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think of yourself as a failure, you can't be surprised when you fail. If you think of yourself as the best in the business, and you know you're the best, and the only thing that's separating you from everybody else believing what you know to be true is just exposure and big money behind you. For example, I know that I'm really good at this stuff. I could go down a whole list of what people might call arrogant. But I know that I'm good at this. I know that a lot of people resonate with what I say on this show every day. I know that I'm one of the best, if not the best of all time. Difference is, people will look at people like Joe Rogan, they'll look at other podcasters, and they'll say that, oh, they have a bigger audience than you, they're better. No, that doesn't make them better. It just means they started a little earlier than me, and they have big money behind them. But you see, I don't fear the failure of not living up to the standards in my own head. I know who I am, and I know where I want to go. And that's more than what 97% of people could say. Most people want someone else to hand them a living. They want someone else to do something for them. They want someone else to cure their mental health. They want someone else to tell them, hey, here's all this hard work that I put in, not for myself, but for you. People like to support people who put in work and who have something going for them. I don't believe it's arrogant to say that you're the best. Now, if you say you're the best and you're lazy and you don't do jack, then you're just delusional. But it's one thing to be working really hard and always improving, always making yourself better, always pushing yourself, and say that you're the best. And I know it's a matter of time before you make that a reality. Totally different. But again, it comes back to fearing failure. Too many people won't even get to that point because they're so afraid of messing up. They're so afraid of doing something wrong. They're so afraid of just not doing it as well as someone else. And it puts them down this rabbit hole. They pigeonhole themselves into something they don't even want to do. And then they accept it and they wonder why they're not happy. Why would you be happy if you're doing something you don't like? Why would you be happy if you're telling yourself that you're no good? Why would you be happy if you're expressing to yourself that you're not the person you should be or want to be and you're not worthy of it? No wonder you're upset or depressed. It's no wonder that you're fearing failure today. Most people can't even control what they do. They can't control how much they drink. They can't control how much they smoke dope. They can't control how much, what time they go to bed or what people are in their lives, and they want to sit here and tell me that they're going to do this and do that. No. You're setting yourself up for failure. So stop fearing failure and dare it. Dare failure to step in front of your path because you'll mow them right down. You'll mow it down. And you'll turn it on your team and you'll make it a learning opportunity. Do not let yourself self-sabotage because there's a lot of people out here who are more than happy to throw a monkey wrench in your business, throw a monkey wrench in your plans and your ambitions and your goals. You can't be one of those people. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And yet so many people are divided against themselves and what they want. They try to rationalize why they shouldn't want the things that they want or they shouldn't pursue the things that they want to pursue. Don't do that. You have enough people out here trying to do that. You have enough haters out here that will make sure to let you know that they don't support you. You got to support yourself. So stop fearing failure and step out here and be a force to be reckoned with. Because I guarantee you could do a lot better than you think. It just takes one step. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I think it was Lao Tzu who said that. And trust me, it will take you 1,000 miles to get where you want to go. And you can only take one step at a time. Do not let that intimidate you. Take it as a challenge, and you will become a force to be reckoned with. And before you know it, you'll look back at 100 miles you've gone and it'll feel like nothing. Trust me, I speak from personal experience. But my friends, you need to remember that fearing failure is a shortcut to self-sabotage, and I don't want you to sabotage yourself. There'll be enough saboteurs out here waiting for you. My friends, go out there and win the day, because every day is a battle, and I don't want you to be a house divided against itself. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. You take care of yourselves, and remember, it is not crowded at the top. It's lonely out here. But for those of us who are waiting for you, we look forward to seeing you. Take care. Peace.